On November 27, 1989, Avianca Flight 203 is climbing high over Suacha, Colombia, when a hidden bomb suddenly detonates mid-flight. The blast killed all 107 people on board. It was a targeted assassination attempt aimed at a presidential candidate who never even boarded the plane. The orders for the bombing came directly from Pablo Escobar and the leadership of the Medellín Cartel. This single act of terror signaled a shift in the conflict, marking the point where a criminal network began to challenge the authority of a sovereign nation through open, asymmetric warfare. 20 years earlier, the scale was far smaller. In the 1970s, Escobar was a street-level smuggler, stealing headstones and moving illicit cigarettes through the city. He recognized an opportunity in the emerging cocaine market, uniting independent traffickers like the Ochoa brothers and Jose Gonzalo Rodriguez Gacha into a collaborative organization, the Medellín Cartel. The cartel industrialized their logistics by seizing control of Norman's Cay in the Bahamas. They transformed this private island into a militarized refueling station for a fleet of drug-running aircraft. This map shows the result of that industrialization. At its peak, the cartel moved 15 tons of cocaine daily, controlling 96% of all cocaine entering the United States. Daily revenues reached $100 million in cash. This financial power allowed Escobar to pivot from the shadows of the criminal underworld into the light of national politics. Escobar invested billions into his public image. He launched the Medellín Without Slums project, building entire neighborhoods for the urban poor to secure a base of fanatical loyalty. This populist support helped him win a seat in the Colombian Congress in 1982, fulfilling his ambition to join the nation's political elite. That dream collapsed when Justice Minister Rodrigo Lara Bonilla publicly linked Escobar to the drug trade, forcing his eventual expulsion from the legislature. Escobar retaliated by sending assassins to murder Lara Bonilla in 1984. The minister's death ended the era of plata, the use of bribery and social programs to gain influence. From here on, Escobar would rely on plomo, the lethal application of terrorism. The primary threat to the cartel was extradition to the United States. They adopted the slogan, "Better a tomb in Colombia than a jail in the US," turning their fear of American justice into a justification for violence. Escobar launched a campaign of narco-terrorism. He ordered the assassination of presidential candidate Luis Carlos Galán and car-bombed the headquarters of Colombia's intelligence agency. As you can see from these bricks of seized cocaine, a constant stream of narcotics continued to fund this private war against the state. Facing total collapse, the government reached a compromise in 1991. They banned extradition in a new constitution, allowing Escobar to surrender to La Catedral, a luxury compound he designed himself. Even behind bars, Escobar continued to manage his business and execute rivals. When the government finally moved to transfer him in 1992, he walked out of the prison and escaped into the hills. The escape proved that the legal system could no longer contain him. The government's only remaining option was to hunt him down. The Colombian military launched a massive search operation, coordinating this search block with elite intelligence and support from the DEA, the CIA, and Delta Force. They were joined by a shadowy paramilitary group called Los Papes, an acronym for People Persecuted by Pablo Escobar. This death squad was funded by the rival Cali cartel and Escobar's former associates. A shadowy intelligence-sharing loop formed. U.S. agencies tracked Escobar's radio signals and passed the locations to the Colombian police, who then shared that data with Los Papes. Los Papes systematically dismantled the cartel's infrastructure. They burned his mansions and assassinated his inner circle, while the military stood guard. To eliminate the world's most high-profile terrorist, the state entered a tacit alliance with rival drug traffickers and vigilante killers. By December 1993, the once billionaire drug lord was hiding in a middle-class house in Medellín, isolated and stripped of his private army. Escobar made a fatal error by staying on a phone call with his son long enough for authorities to triangulate his exact position. During the ensuing raid, Escobar was shot and killed while attempting to flee across a terracotta rooftop. His death did not stop the drug trade. It simply fractured the market, shifting power to the Cali cartel and setting the stage for the rise of Mexican cartels. Escobar provided the blueprint for the modern drug cartel, demonstrating that a criminal organization could amass enough capital to challenge the very foundations of a sovereign state.